All right, well, our final last full day, and we are here at the Colosseum.
Looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. It's amazing just walking around here and seeing history, and this should be a lot of fun. Well, as we've learned, not the Colosseum, but the amphitheater of Flavio. What'd you think?
Well, I thought it was fascinating. So it was really interesting to learn that the structures here are more about showing power than beauty or art.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, so like the arch that that the one ruler had, Constantine had, that was basically his way of telling his story.
Yes.
In a way that had some permanence, because there really wasn't any other way for him to make sure that people knew just how awesomely great he liked for them to believe he was.
Absolutely. And there was no YouTube.
There was no YouTube.
Or Facebook.
Or Facebook. There was Twitter, but no one had cell phones. No one had mobile phones, so, you know, it was like,
No.
I can't tweet. My kingdom for a tweet.
So the other thing that was used besides the sculptures and the buildings and things like the Colosseum, that was only called a Colosseum because they had forgotten the use of it.
It was Colossus. It was
the colossal thing.
Yeah.
They would refer to it as the colossal thing instead of the amphitheater. So that was interesting. But in addition to the structures, the coins were the ones that they used to get the message across the world as quickly as possible, because money moves from country to country. So someone in another country would receive a coin with the leader's picture on one side, so Titus, for example, on one side, and then on the other side, the amphitheater or the Colosseum that he had just completed.
Right. Cool. So that was a phenomenal 3 hours, including going underground. And so
crazy elevators. They had elevators.
Elevators.
At the time of the gladiator fights, there were elevators in the structure. Not like today's elevators. It took 8 slaves to operate them. And the only people who worked underground with the animals and the elevators were slaves. So,
but every once in a while, they would still have a random kid that would jump in the elevator and push all the buttons. And the slaves, I mean, they were slaves, so they couldn't do anything about it, but I'm sure they weren't happy having to stop at every floor.
Yeah, there were no buttons.
All right. All right, well, we're off to get something to eat and then figure out how to spend the rest of the day.